Yo, 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 it's your man, the Reverend, back once again like the Renegade Master I am. Just giving a final update on part 4 of my chase adventure, and this is me going to the studio. So, we've had our makeup done, we've been taken through to the waiting rooms, they were green rooms, I suppose. Then we've been collected and we walked down single file down to the studio, and we stopped at one point because we're told walkie-talkies. Oh, there's a chaser wandering the floors. There isn't a chaser wandering the floors. They make it all sound very exciting. They don't need to. It really isn't. Oh dear, I've just. So yeah, they get us all to wait, and as contestants, we're not being made to socially distance when we're waiting. They're just getting everybody to stand next to each other, which kind of defies the whole purpose of distancing. But we can't control that, and they don't have the space. So yeah, we're taken through to the studio through a door that I thought would be a lot more exciting and interesting than it was, but it wasn't. It was just a blacked out fire door taken down a very small corridor that has wires everywhere. I mean, if you're building a new studio, you would not build them like this. And we get into the actual bit where everybody is now. There's still quite a lot of cast around, but some people are wearing the plastic visors, and we're put into our positions, and that's when it kind of hits you how this is actually happening, and I'm going to be tested on my general knowledge, and it's going to be on TV and all of that. So the first thing is Bradley isn't there, neither is the chaser, so we are put in our positions and given our seats. It's a lot more spaced out. You'll notice it's a much wider desk, and they've got partitions between us. So I mean, at no point are we really ever given the period of time to feel like a team, and I felt that was a bit disappointing. But it is what it is, and we had to record our introduction. So you watch the chase, you'll see that people say, "Hi, my name's so and so." They give their age and their profession and where they're from. I managed to mess it up the first time I did mine because I said, "Hi, I'm Tuan. I'm 40 years old." And they said, "No, we don't need to hear how that you're years old." So I got re-recorded, and then the next person did it, and they're like, "Oh, one take wonders." Oh, it's all jabber jabber to, I guess, to make people feel good and therefore feel more relaxed. It didn't really work with me. We had our water bottles as well, so kind of behind where the lights, your name is, there's like a little shelf with the button on. And the button is there from the start, but it meant I could put my water bottle down there. It was out of shot. And one of the guys comes over and says, because I'm regularly taking water because I want to relax, I want to try and keep myself calm. And one of the guys like, "If you need anything, if you need a water filled up, just let me know." So I'm like, "Excellent. I don't need to worry about how quickly I'm drinking my water." Then after we've filmed all our introductions and they're happy with that, Bradley then comes in. Now obviously he's the top talent. They ain't paying to see me. So yeah, they keep him doing what he fancies doing, I suppose, until they need him. So they bring him in, and he is as lively with us as you'd expect him to be when he wants to get the best out of us. So he says, "Hi, my name's Brad. I'm your mate. We've known each other years. You can have fun with me. The chasers, you can take the mickey out of them. They won't mind. They won't take it personally. It's about you having fun. If you panic, don't panic. You'll be fine. It's just a game, and I'll help you as much as I can." Excellent. Okay. But he did seem tired. I think we were the last recording of the day, and I guess you can only turn it on because it was just like, yeah. So that was it. And then the next thing they recorded was, you'll know from the start of the chase, there's a swing shot where it goes over the shoulder of the chaser, like, "Can you take the chaser on?" And we don't know who the chaser is. Anyway, some guy starts approaching, like up the going down the corridor the chasers go down, and it's just like, he's not the chaser or the new chaser. He's just a guy we have standing there for the shot. So yeah, so there's a bit of television magic ruined for you. You won't recognise from that first shot who the chaser's going to be. And we're told Bradley doesn't know who the chaser's going to be either. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it. As I said, based on the fact that I'm not certain they have all the chasers there. Well, I know they don't have all the chasers there every day. That'd be ridiculous. So you've got to expect they have one or two chasers there tops, and they're gonna have one chaser, then a different chaser. Then if they've got two chasers, they're gonna go back to the first chaser for the last show. Or more likely, if they're recording 3 shows, they'll have the same chaser. Might have one on reserve. I don't know. They let football players. Is there a chaser subs bench? I don't know. And they wouldn't tell us who the chasers had been earlier, because obviously if they told us, it would have been the chaser we got. So the chaser. So anyway, we get introduced to the chase, and they film the chaser coming in for the first time. That happens after the first person's done their cash builder. So I should probably fill you in with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in position 4, the last player to take part. First player is one of the ladies in our team. If I remember rightly, she was into a LARPing, so live action role play or Renaissance fair kind of stuff. So yeah, she was into that. And she had a good old chat with Bradley. He told us to call him Brad because we're mates, you see. Then she did her cash builder, and I think she got £3,000 on her cash builder. And like, okay, well, I think she got 3,000, and you may see me twiddling with my hands behind my back or in front of me, looking down at my hands, looking at my fingers. And I mean, I may have got 4,000 or 5,000 in that cash bill based on those questions. And she gets, she gets 3,000. You turn to face the board, and then the chase is brought out. And it's Sean Wallace. So it's good. He's a hard chaser to beat. I must say that I think Sean is. I understand there might be higher ranked quizzes, but Sean plays a very calm, cool game. And I've watched a lot, and he doesn't lose very often, so not a great sign. Anyway, 3 offers on the table: low, middle, high. High might have been 12 or 15 grand. Low was something, maybe £1,000. And person in trap 1 took the middle offer, 3,000, brought it back, but would have had enough to have gone for the higher offer. Next up was another lady on our team. She worked in aircraft logistics, getting the stuff to planes that planes need for premium services. Like, I don't know if it was private planes or whatever, but that's what she did, and she'd had a long career with that and had moved into something else, travelled the world. She was a really chatty and interesting person. And on her cash builder, I think she got 4,000. I think it was 4,000. I cannot be sure though. That's the same. Could have been 3. It's 3 or 4,000. What show? I think it's 4,000. And once again, she gets a low offer, maybe £1,000, maybe 2 grand, but a high offer maybe of 20 odd grandish. And she was like, nope, taking what I've earned. And she brings it back. Good game. More than enough points. If she'd have gone for the high, she'd have had more of a chance. She'd have had more than one chance to get it. So we've got 7,000 on the bench, 2 players back. Great. Next to me is the other gentleman in my team. From my other videos, you'll remember that he was very much going to go high. And that was perfect for me. Based on what happened so far, we've got 7 grand on there. He goes high. I mean, 12 grand, 20 something grand. He's going to get 30 or 40 grandish. So he goes for that. Excellent. I'm under no pressure at all. And he said he's going high. So if he goes high and gets it, absolutely no pressure for me. If he goes high and doesn't get it, I can still kind of, you go into that final thing, and it's, do the 2 other people want you as a player or not? I wouldn't have taken a minus figure, but I was kind of confident that at that point, with 2 people back, it said the entire day he was going to go high, take the high offer. Based on that, I was like, excellent. I don't need to panic so much. You know, the guy next to me, was his name Tony? Oh yeah, we'll find out. Gets 3 grand again in the cash builder. I mean, this is weird, and I'm not getting high scores. When you're sat at home and you're playing along, I'm like 6, 7, 8,000. I'm getting those kind of scores in the cash builder every time, and I'm seeing these people my teammates getting much lower scores, and I'm not doing as well as I would be at home. But I keep going. But yeah, Tony, he's got low offer. I think might be a grand, might be a couple £100. High offer was 40,000, something very high, 48,000, something like that. And and he brings he has 3 as the middle is what he got in the cash builder, and I'm like, he's going higher. Don't need to panic. He doesn't. He goes for the middle offer. I'm like, oh no, this is problematic. So anyway, Tony Cup brings his £3,000 back, and we have 3, 4, 3. That's 10 grand, and then it's me, and I'm like, oh, and Tony bought his 3,000 back. He could have gone for the higher offer and had more than one go. So yeah, then it's me. I'm like, crapola. So I got up, had some jibber jabber with Bradley about my interests in retro. I think I talked about old cars, maybe retro consoles, whatever. I don't know what they're going to keep in. Yeah, then we do. And I should add as well, up until this point, the chaser, when they're not recording, is telling us, guys, you're doing a lot. You're doing well. Listen, go for the high. You're doing well. Go for the high offers. I'm not having the best game. And he said, "Listen, you as a team, you can do really well if you all get back." My game plan was to get back, so we have my cash build around. What a shocker! 2 things. The first thing, I think, the second question I get is, what sunglass? It was like, what sunglass manufacturer, what brand produces the aviator sunglass? And I know the answer, as you do. It's Ray-Ban. I've been buying Ray-Ban sunglasses for absolutely years. I mean, I think the first thing I bought my first paycheck was a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. I love Ray-Ban. Ray-Ban, Ray-Ban, Ray-Ban. So, not a hard question for me. I know the answer. For some reason, I say Ray Brand. They pause the recording because they're not sure what I've said. And the adjudicator comes out and says, right, just checking this. What did you say? I said, the answer is Ray-Ban, but I think I said Ray Brand. And they said, we're just playing it back now. Yeah, you said Ray Brand. I'm like, oh. I mean, that's me losing £1,000 off my cash builder immediately. And that's not knocking my confidence. And I'm tripping over my tongue. You know, sometimes when you bite your tongue, it swells up in the ear. I start to feel like that. I mean, I've drunk water, so I'm hydrated, but my mouth's starting to go dry and like. So yeah. The next question, Bradley says, complete this saying, fight or... And I said, flight. Well, I thought I said flight, but I might have said fight. And then Bradley goes, wait. I think I've ballsed that. And he said, I think I've messed that one up. I think I've read that, and he's arguing with the adjudicator. I think I said flight or fight. And essentially, I don't even know at that point what answer I gave. I couldn't even tell you. I know it is fight or flight or fight or flight. They're the 2 options. But thanks to whatever happened there, they re-recorded that question, put the timer back and said, we're going to read you the question again. You got the right answer, so just say the same answer again. So I then had to say the answer. So fight or flight. Flight or fight, or whatever. You'll be on the recording. At least I got that one. But by that point, I am flustered and I am not doing. I've got 2 answers. No, I might have only had 1 answer by that point. Shocking. And I'm not getting any of these. I mean, I'm really struggling on these questions. Really struggling. And I'm just like, oh, this is dreadful. I'm not doing well here. And I was hoping, like, the team have brought 10 grand to the table. I'm hoping I can get 6, 7, 8,000 back, and I've got 2 questions and maybe 30, 40 seconds. So anyway, I get a third question. I couldn't even tell you what other questions I got right were. I get 3 questions right, three grand back to the table. gives me a low offer. I'm like, Bradley's like, you're a better player than this. I'm like, no, obviously not. And the chaser's like, oh, you're much better. He comes out, he's like, you're a much better player than that. Don't you remember when you're up here, you're going to be better. So when you're doing this, you're going to be better. So anyway, picked his offers. Couldn't tell you what the low offer was. High offer, I think, was 68,000 or 63. I mean, the high offer was massive. Might be 63,000. And I was like, oh, do you know what? If I'd had a better cash builder, I'd have taken the higher offer. But by getting only £3,000, my confidence is knocked for shock. So I'm like, ugh. So all I can do is I'm like, oh, we're going to be a team. We're not even going to get 15 grand back. And we got 3 players back, obviously. And if the best chance you have of winning is having a full team back, ignoring the 4-step head start, the best chance of winning is a full team back. So I'm like, right, okay, let's go for it. And by that I mean go for the middle offer and get a full team back. I'm not going for the low offer. We don't have enough. I'm not knocking money off or I'm just not doing it. So, and Brad is like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You should have gone for the higher offer. And the chaser saying, yeah, you should have gone. I'm having a shocker. You should have gone for the higher offer. I'm like, nah. But anyway, first 2 questions I think during the head-to-head. The first 2 questions I get wrong. Do I get them wrong or are they guesses and one might be right? But essentially, I am having a shocker that, I mean, I know nothing, and my luck. Oh, I can tell you something that I didn't realise is like the set is fantastic. Absolutely, like state of the art, electric screens, beep, 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 all of that. I'm back in focus. All of that shenanigans. The buttons that you press are a flap that raises, but essentially they look like they were made in a CDT class in the 1990s. It's unpainted wood and a couple of buttons with, I think, printed labels above them. I mean, it looks so cheap and tacky. But it's easy. When you watch the TV and people are like, I pressed the wrong button. If you're not looking at which button you want to press, you can press the wrong button. I don't think I pressed the wrong button. I hope I didn't. Anyway, so I am very worried that I'm going to get knocked out and I've got 3 questions right and Jason's going to catch me. He gets one question, I think, wrong that he really should have got right, and I don't know why, but I can only guess. Maybe they'd had no winning teams that record, and he was like, I've got money to throw around, I'll just give him a chance. Also, it makes a good telly if you win lots of money. But anyway, I'd taken £3,000, and I get back, which is great, but once again, there would have been enough space there for me to have gone for the higher figure and got 1 or 2 wrong. However, we've got a full team back. We should be in with a chance of getting some money. Next bit of behind the scenes goss is, you know, when they come back to do the final chase and Raleigh says to the team, which set of balls did you pick? And they say set A Bradley or set B Bradley. You don't pick it. What happens is the adjudicator comes out with like a little ball bag, pulls out 2 balls. Ball A and ball B. Also, says puts them in the bag, moves them around, pulls them out, and says that you will have that ball. When Bradley asks you what set of balls you picked, you say, so can you say, and that's it. So luckily she picked up set B for us. Now B is the best set of balls to get, best set of questions to get, in my opinion. It always is. And that's it. We got a full team. We struggled on the cash builder rounds as a team, which means that on this round we are going to struggle. And all I'm thinking is, I've embarrassed myself already. I don't want to. We can't be a 10-point team or an 8-point team. Rarely do teams of 4 get very low scores, but yeah, I'm like, okay, let's see how it can do. And it starts. Bang, 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 bang. And I get a question wrong to the point where they need to adjudicate it again. So that's 3 times the adjudicators had to interrupt. And so the question was, which Python autobiography you'll hear it? And I mean, there are 4 Pythons: John, Terry, Michael, Graham. and I don't think it was which Python. I think it was which author wrote so and so. He must have said Python. And if I'd have gone for Terry, one of the things they tell you when you answer is if you give someone's name, unless they're like royalty or known by one name, like Prince or Madonna or the Queen, you've got to give their full name. And so that was a question I kind of guessed from the name of the title was Terry Gilliam. However, my mental brain to mouth connection didn't say that. They paused it and said, can you play it? Can we check that, please? Like, what? What did you say there? Well, his name's Terry Gilliam. Like, okay, we're just checking in the production office. I'm like, and they're like, can you spell it? And I said, yeah, it's Terry, Terry, and then Gilliam. It's Gillliam, but I think the H is silent, so you don't say Gilliam. I think it's Gilliam. And they play it back. They spend quite some time on this. I'm like, oh, balls. And they say, I'm very sorry, you said Terry Gillingham. I'm like, flippity gibbets. What a pain. So, yeah. So I knew the answer. And then the very last question... the very last question we had from our cash builder... from our final chase was, what's the largest breed of dolphin, I think? And I don't know. I said porpoise, because no, we didn't know. It was the last question. And no, it's killer whale, apparently, so I need to remember that. That's a pain. So, yeah. But anyway, we got what I consider to be quite a respectable score. We got 20 steps. I don't think you can complain with that on a score. I've just watched the Celebrity Christmas version, and I think they won on 18 steps. Now, they did have some pushbacks, but yeah, 20 steps is enough to win. I mean, not the first couple of series. First couple of series, you needed 24, 26 or whatever it was. But yeah, 20 is the danger zone. So yeah, then it's time for us to go for Sean Wallace to do his thing. And remember, this is his thing. So I'm like, this is going to be close. And if you've watched it, you'll see how close it is. You can see why I'm annoyed by... you can see why I'm particularly annoyed by the Terry Gillingham question that I said wrongly. I know the answer. I knew the answer. I know the answer. Why I said it wrongly. And the other thing is, they don't play it back in the studio for you to hear. You have to take it on faith that the production team are correct. So anyway, we then... the chaser gets one question wrong, which is which footballing trophy is known as Big Ears. And I know nothing about football. It's important you know that. It may not seem like that, seeing as I got a question about football right, but I know nothing about football. And so I think the chaser said maybe the FA Cup. And I know nothing about football, let alone football trophy nicknames. And as a team, they're like, well, what do you think it is? And everyone's like, I don't know. Is it? And I said, well, I only know of 2 cups in football. I know the FA Cup, and we know it's not that. And I know the World Cup. I've never heard the World Cup be referred to as Old Big Ears, but I couldn't name you another cup. And so as a team, we went for the World Cup, and that was wrong. And if we'd have got that, we would have won. But lots of woulda, coulda, shouldas, and you'll see that we didn't win. But I think we did very respectably. Something that you won't see on the TV as well is at the start, the adjudicator, before they started all record, the adjudicator introduced herself and said, be aware that 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000 records, when it's down to the wire, the winning graphics will kick in because the production team, if the chaser gets in the final milliseconds, the production team can't stop the graphics from running quick enough because it's set on a timer. It automatically triggers. So don't have 1 in 1,000, but you don't worry about it. Anyway, that, as you'll see, is exactly what happened. So the final question, I think, was about chess pieces. I think it was. And Sean Wallace, I mean, you can see he's getting into it because he's sitting forwards and he's kind of like looking, and you see he's getting into it. And he holds his fists aloft while he says his answer. And because it's then played the winning thing, we have to re-record that. So we're told, listen, I'm really sorry, you haven't won, but we now need to re-record it, and you need to give the losing reaction so we can film that. And they needed to get Sean back into the same position, so that someone's looking at the picture and going, well, you need your hands higher up or a bit further apart, and so he had to record that, and oh man, that was the worst bit. So yeah, they re-recorded that. He does his chat with Bradley. At the end of the day, it's just another day at the office. You're like, oh, I didn't want to hear that. And then I've forgotten. I'm grumbling. So before the final chase, I say to the production guy, I finished my walk, can I have some more water? And he said no. And I said, but you told me I could have some more water. He said, well, you can't have any more water now. I'm like, well, that's not what you said. It really annoyed me. And I got chatting to a friend of mine who does work in television, has worked in TV, and he said at that point you should just walked off the stage and they'd have got you some water because that's what you wanted. And it's more important to them that you are on stage so they can finish recording rather than anything else. Whereas telling you no is a power play on their part to go, no, you need to remember that you're not important here. The promises I've made to you are no longer important. And it really annoyed me, because it then meant going into the final chase I had no water. And I really, at that point, we'd been in there maybe 40 minutes-ish, half hour, 40 minutes, and I really wanted some. Oh. So yeah, Bradley says he's saying, oh, you lost out your money, so if each chase is over, we take that money from you. Sean Wallace says, just another day at the office, and they finish it off. And when the camera stopped rolling, Sean Wallace is just like, I'm so sorry, guys. And then Bradley goes, well, at least it wasn't for 78,000 or whatever the figure would have been. And he's like, oh, you should have got that European Cup question. I'm like, I know nothing about football, Brad. And he's like, yeah, but you got the Tony Adams question. I'm like, oh, that's my mum supported Arsenal sports Arsenal. So growing up, I know a few footballers from Arsenal in the 90s because my mum supported them. And then we kind of get ushered back to the green room to collect our stuff. Then we're ushered single file, not socially distanced again. They're really weird, the social distancing that they take on board and they were doing and they weren't doing. And then we're ushered out, and then that's it. And as I was walking with one of the contestants, they were telling me, and I won't say which one it is, they might appear on there, they were telling me how much they really want to go on Pointless. And I said, no one wins any money on Pointless, and they didn't care. Them and their friends like going on quiz shows, and Pointless is one their friend has been on, so they want to go on it. Good for them. I hope they go on it, and I hope they do win, but I ain't going nowhere near Pointless. Got 2 quiz shows I'd do left at the moment. They're on TV. Really want to do catchphrase. I love it. And the other is Tipping Point, mainly because I like the structure of Tipping Point. It's got the element of stuff you can control and the element of chance, which is nice from a quiz. So would do them. Don't want to do 5 gold rings. Don't want to do the cube. Don't do any of that. So hopefully I can. Well, they're not taking submissions for either catchphrase or Tipping Point, but when they do, I'll apply it. Maybe I'll be in with a chance. So yeah, there we have it. Me jabbering on about, turns out, not winning the chase. But I think as a team we can hold our head high, and I think as a player I can hold my head as high as I could. Apart from Ray Brand, I get that one wrong. All the other questions I got wrong, I had no idea. And in my head-to-head, there was a lot of lucky guesses. a lot of lucky guesses. So from that, I think I wish I'd have done better. I wish I'd have won the money, but I didn't. But I don't think. Listen, I went on the chase. I didn't get knocked out. I got back to my team. We got to the final chase, and the chaser won with milliseconds to spare. I think that's as if winning is first place on the chase, coming home with the money's first place. I think we've come a strong second because we were very close. Anyway, this is me, the Reverend. I'm going to sign off now. And yeah, it's going to be broadcast soon, so these videos will get up and put on a timer, and then people will be able to watch them. And I wonder how many people can call me as thick as a bag of frogs or whatever. Probably a lot. Nothing I can do about it. I've been called an awful lot of things. Anyway, yeah, this is me, your man, the Reverend, signing off, saying, watch me on the chase or don't. You know, if you've watched this video, you know I didn't win. But it's worth watching it for how badly I did in the cash builder, for how fluky I was in the head-to-head, and how very, very close we were as a team to winning some cash. And we'd have been about £3,250 each. No one's good. I mean, what did I watch the other day? I watched Omid Djalili's quiz show where the combination, and depending on what number you are, where you come in, that's where you are in as a team. You share a jackpot, and the maximum that jackpot can be is £9,876, and that's only if you get in that order. So if you're a team, you're sharing like £3,000 between 4 people, getting £700 each. So can't complain with the possibility of maybe walking home with 3,000 plus. But I didn't. Still not going to complain though. Anyway, catch you later. I'm the Reverend. Check out some other videos. I'll yat on about that in a bit.
Hey, I've got some other videos. Why don't you check them out? I've got some Hot Wheel cars. I've got restaurants I've been to. I've got tea unboxing videos. I've just got unboxing videos. I've got all sorts of stuff that you can go watch. They'll appear on this screen. Check them out. Have a watch. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. They're great.